The Seahawks had to travel 4,781 miles for their road game, but the Raiders flew 5,345 miles for their home game. It's Seattle and Oakland from London, England. I'll be back with you at halftime, but first, it's off to London as we say good day to our announcers, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you. We are over 4,000 miles away from where you're seated in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England, and Wembley Stadium. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one, between the Seattle Seahawks and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. We're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should. And what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory.
And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
As that ball got away from him, and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. They go read option with Wilson. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
So that'll move them up 5, make the kick a little easier.
Rarely do you get kickers that don't want some yardage closer to the post, right? It's rare, but in this case, they'll definitely take it.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So our initial drive this afternoon results in 3. Not sure that that's a statement necessarily, but getting points on the road, never a bad thing.
You're exactly right about that. I love how you framed it, right? Not sure it's a statement, but at the same time, you're putting something out there, aren't you? Letting them know, hey, we can play today.
And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State. It's the Pro Bowler, Derek Carr.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about it being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. but they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Now the first carry for Marshawn Lynch. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of a full 8 yards. It sets him back for 2nd down.
Well, so much for all the time that you spend in practice, because for offensive linemen and running backs to get in sync, that requires a ton of practice time, a ton of watching tape together, a ton of really getting to where you're thinking with one mind on every single play that's called, every single run, because you want to know how your guy's going to block it. They want to know how he's going to run it, what kind of cuts he's going to make, and it's really anticipatory. And when you're really locked in,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Malik McDowell with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
So what's the word I'm looking for here about how this drive just started?
Disjointed?
I'll go with that one. I mean, think about it. 1st down, took a bad loss on a running play. Take the sack on 2nd down. Now they got to come up with something big here on 3rd.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Now Carr maybe with a free play. Over the middle to Smith. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
Offside, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah,
Still 3rd down.
offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long.
29, 7:34, down, 180.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Jarran Reed with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Taking it about the 16. That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Well, throw on 1st down with Wilson. Buying time to his left. He hits Baldwin right side. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Shalik Calhoun able to drop him for a loss of 4.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
14.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. This is complete. It's Baldwin. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. They'll run for it with Davis. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him to 1st before he's brought down. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th.
4th and inches, does he get the 1st? You bet he does. He knows exactly where he needs to be, and he's going to fight his way forward to get a couple of yards and ensure he keeps the chains moving.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Hey, over here. 36.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And Dixon over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Let's get
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 48-yard line.
Go 14.
They go read option with Wilson. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. He's going to sling this deep down. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way down to the 5. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 43 yards.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. This is first and goal from about the 8. They'll try a run forward with Davis. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Mike Davis, his second touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Sebastian Janikowski on for the PAT. Janikowski adds the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. The return man here, Dwayne Harris. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
93.
They'll start on the ground with Lynch. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Malik McDowell there to make the tackle. A look now at the Oakland offense.
The NFL's comeback player of the year in 2016 is Jordy Nelson. He couldn't duplicate the magic last year with his quarterback Aaron Rodgers on the shelf for a big portion of it due to injuries, but he's still well respected around the league. If you want to run press coverage against him, be prepared for him to run by you.
Now Carr throwing on second down, escaping the pressure right. And Nelson's got it here right side. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And a look at Seattle's defense.
Quarterback Shaquille Griffin had a nice rookie year in large part because he was never intimidated. And that came from Richard Sherman, who tutored him in 2017 and said he turned him loose.
Carr going to try and throw on third down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
First carry for Doug Martin, the two-time Pro Bowler in Tampa. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. Or the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Carr to throw after the play fake to Lynch. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Amari Cooper, his second touchdown on the season. And the Raiders have cut it back to within a score. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Point after try forthcoming. And his kick is no good. It's an early miss. We'll see if that has any ramifications later here as the afternoon wears on. 1 quarter down. 10-6 the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They're starting to put some space here. You know, first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Second and 10 now, Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. But I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
This is Harris. Look at the spin.
Balance.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. They start the drive with Lynch. And he stopped immediately there. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
And that's called winning at the point of attack, isn't it? Right there at the line of scrimmage. I know he's a little bummed out now. He doesn't get credit for a tackle for a loss, but no gain. His guys will take that.
And speaking of winning, to be as cheesy as we can, he was the winner of the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award from last week, so he's really stringing together some good football.
So not only did he get a gold star, he might have gotten a gold watch too, huh?
They fake the handoff. Now Carr out to his left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
6:37.
From the gun, it's Carr. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. And it's hauled in by Nick Vannett. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And on this challenge, the refs have to take a peek and see whether or not the receiver is able to dot the I with both feet,
while making sure that he possesses the football all the way through the catch.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
I'm sure as a coach, when you throw the flag, you hold your breath, then you get the verification you were right, a sigh of relief.
Not only a sigh of relief, a little vindication as well, because every time you pull that red flag and throw it, you could be costing your team a timeout.
Third and 2, now Wilson. Flush to his right. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
On third down, the defense decided to blitz. A very good job of recognizing it, stepping away from the pressure, and finding open space to scramble and pick up a first down.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Now Wilson on first down. And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Marshall. And bulldozing his way through. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Brandon Marshall, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Pete Carroll in that familiar hands-on knees pose. His guys will go for 2 here.
Check 50, check 50.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Forced out to his left. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23. Jordy Nelson now trotting back out there on offense. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 23. Carr gives to Marshawn, and he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Carr to throw on second down. And complete right side to Cook. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The Raiders on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Carr. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. First down, Raiders. The former Packer Jordy Nelson on the receiving end from Carr.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And there was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. First down, the run with Lynch. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Back to the ground. This time it's Martin. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Markevius Mingo in that time on the tackle.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The Raiders on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Low. Down. 180. 618.
Snap comes at 1, and it's Carr. And he finds Cook. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A Raiders first down. Carr hooking up with Cook.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41.
Delay of game, offense.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Following the penalty, Martin. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 5-yard pickup, so essentially they get the penalty yardage back, and it's back to 2nd and 10.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
93. Monday, down. 180.
On second down, here's Carr. Goes underneath to Martin. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to lead to a third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So 2 of 2 on third down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here.
29.
Carr now to throw. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a first down.
How many times do we hear that third down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the first down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body on the line to pick up a key first down.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Slide down. Down. 185.
On the give, this is Lynch. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Play action. Now it's Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. They'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. On play action, it's Carr. Steps away. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Cooper was the intended target. That had disaster written all over. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. Now a play fake here on first down. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes a timeout. And now we're set to get going. The Seahawks on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. Throwing is Wilson. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah, what's going on? It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And now it's 2nd down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Handoff comes to Lynch. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll kick things off up at FedEx Field. An NFC battle between Carolina and Washington. And in the second quarter, it's the Redskins who are out in front. Alex Smith, a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In our game, it's been Russell Wilson, who was dynamic, as usual, in that first half. His guys lead it by 10 as we send it back out to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
14. Smart that.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. Dancing to his left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Baldwin. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First down, Seahawks. Wilson to Baldwin.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And Dixon over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 46. They go read option with Wilson. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he's stopped in the backfield. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know. Defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. On the give, this is their fullback. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. That one good for 14 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Here's Wilson. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. They'll get just a couple, but the sticks move again.
Really? Really? Did we just see that? That's a big catch. One-handed, I might add, to pick up a first down.
I was going to say on 3rd down for the defense, it's one thing to give up a reception. You just kind of shake your head on a one-handed catch to pick up the first. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Gilchrist. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception. So
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real...
Yeah, both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, Lynch. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
694.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for Oakland. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now a handoff to Davis. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he's going to get the 1st down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola. And then, of course, to Stanford. And, boy, he's been good. Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
I feel for some of these guys nowadays because it is so tough to be able to run with these tight ends. Their speed, their elusiveness, especially when they run across the field, because you're not just running with him, you're trying to run through some traffic as well.
Wilson now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10.
Tempo, tempo. Right, 380.
Now it's Wilson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Zebra.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. And he hits on the slant route to Marshall. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 55 yards.
I'm sorry, but it's almost unfair. I mean, Brandon Marshall can make so many plays, but even when you think he's covered,
he's not.
No, he's really not. He uncovers and makes a play on you and picks up good yardage in doing so.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll try to punch it into Davis, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. Wilson. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This just a 24-yard attempt. And Janikowski bangs it through. And that will extend their lead even further. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Here's Harris to return it. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Carr to throw after the play fake to Lynch. steps away to his left. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
And Derek Carr just keeps improving. He can be dangerous not just inside the pocket, but as we see here, outside of it as well.
Kid born in California, played his high school ball in Texas, had quarterback written all over him. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down.
Get down, get down.
The 10th carry of the game for Marshawn Lynch. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Now Carr throwing on second down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in London. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the fourth. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays.
93.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And the Seahawk defense gets to him and they bring him down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And out now come the Seahawks. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Wilson. Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. And the Raiders have recovered.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the fourth. And now Oakland ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now Carr. And Nelson's got it here right side. Jordy Nelson all by himself. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. A big play there. Carr to Nelson, 46 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Partner, the head coach is out of challenges now for the rest of the game. I'm not too sure he wouldn't like to have a few more challenges in his pocket.
And when they first started challenges in the NFL, people were wondering what's the right amount.
Yeah, I'm not sure that there's a flat-out determination, but I do like where we are because I think it does leave strategy in the game, and the head coach has to make a decision about when exactly is the right time to pull the challenge flag.
Lynch, the lone man in the backfield now on second and goal. They'll run for it with Lynch. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's third and goal. To throw, it's caught. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Okay, so thought they might go for it here, down late. Instead, they trot out the field goal unit from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick here is good. And that gets them back within 10. So not sure how they feel about that. They had golden field position to start the drive after the fumble recovery, but they went backward and then got 3.
Well, let's go from gold to silver, because the silver lining is they got the 3, right? You were talking about the golden field position. They didn't take advantage of it. That has to feel like a letdown.
You always stand ready to pounce. Always. This one taken from the 7. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Now it's Wilson, eluding the pressure right. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Rashaan Melvin. Marshall, the intended receiver. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him with contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. He'll get it up the middle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Throw on second down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
The pressure there was definitely enough to make him alter his throw, because if he had had time, he had a man wide open and had a chance to get it to him.
Yeah, I think if he had just another split second, that's a completion and a touchdown. This Seattle defense, they haven't broken yet. Coming up here on a 3rd and goal situation.
7:34.
Carr going to throw. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Frank Clark in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss. And that'll lead to a 4th down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks. And the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
This will be fielded at the 6. Oh, good move. Van Hell running right through it. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
But you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the 4th quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
They go play action now. Wilson. Oh, no, lost the football. And the Raiders have recovered.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit, because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call, because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the 4th, a costly turnover. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want it to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Just a yard on the pickup there that'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And his throw is incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Carr. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the 4th quarter, and they got a big one.
And such a close game, a very big one. One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now Carr, got to have this one. He finds Roberts, complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A gain of 26 and a conversion there as well on 4th down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Again, they'll throw with Carr. Oh, no, he lost the football. But I think the Raiders are going to be able to hold on to it, yes. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
6-18.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game, because no one can stand up to this week after week.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Buying time to his left. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. So obviously that one really hurts not to be able to convert. But this one's not over yet, Charles. Look at the clock, and then also 2 timeouts still left for him.
And if I'm coaching the defense, I think I'm going all out. And what I mean by that is nothing but pressure packages going at them. I'm going to force them on offense to kind of gamble a little bit, because I will leave openings, all right? You can sting me, but how often will they want to do that? They're going to want to run the ball and bleed the clock. I'm going after them, hoping to make a big play.
And in a sense, 3 timeouts with that 2-minute warning looming.
Great note right there, because it was the 2 timeouts. They get a 3rd one back. They still have a chance.
The give to the fullback on the dive. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Second and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. On second down, Wilson. And Dixon over the middle. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Davis. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. The Seahawks on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be third and 5. Now Rashad Penny. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. Harris now to return. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They're down here in a one-score game. At the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. 23 yards on the play. First down now, but that clock rolling. They'll run it now out of the gun. And unable to get downhill there, so he'll take this up to about the 37. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it second and 9. Back to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Offside. Defense.
Yeah, that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
He's back to throw. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. They'll look to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. 42-yard line. And the young buck, the rookie, just racked up his first career interception.
And how about the scouting department? They've got to be very happy right now because in NFL parlance, he's a third-day selection. Anyone after the fourth round, that's big-time scouting right there. And what a great play he just made.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. The clock cannot be stopped here. Defense can't do anything. So kneel it down, take it home.
No doubt about it. It's what you practice for in winning situations each and every week. Victory formation. Take a knee and go on into the locker room and celebrate.
Call it a victory. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10. The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. Well, partner, even though my phone alarm failed me this morning and I missed our AM workout, we still made it through this thing together, didn't we?
Well, you always know I need extra workouts just to keep up with you, so it doesn't matter. But thanks for sharing a booth, and thanks for being our quarterback.
Yeah, you're the quarterback. Always a pleasure, my friend. So for the Seahawks, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And now they'll head to the bye week as they'll be back in action in Week 8.